Alright, I'm back. Had to do an edit because I had to go and find my O-rings. These are number 14 O-rings. You can buy boxes of these at Lowe's. It's a great place to get them. They're under $5 for a set of them. And it's the right size O-ring you need for your airsoft gun. And we're working with the piston here. Let me go ahead and set this guy off the side. Screwdriver head. And what we're going to do is take our silicone and we're just going to kind of goop it onto here. Alright, Tex, I don't want any more of your silly sexual comments. It's too early in the morning. I'm not loopy yet. I'm not all hopped up on Mountain Dew, so things won't seem as funny to me. The next step that we're going to do is I'm going to set this aside, let that the O-rings kind of soak in the lubricant while we work on everything else. That'll allow the O-rings to kind of absorb it a little bit and expand. And I'm kind of bullshitting right now because I don't know the physics of rubber O-rings and whether they're actually absorbing the lubricant. But we'll say that because it sounds really technical, and you guys will be all impressed and be like, "Oh, he knows what he's talking about! Oh my God, I worship him!" And then I'll go to the field and you guys will be like hovering around me and my gun doesn't work, fix it for me, and I'll be like, dude, I just want to play airsoft, so see me on Wednesday. Anyway, let's put the switch back in here. Switch, the lower gearbox, what you're going to need to do is it's going to start going under this notch below here. And basically on top of there's a hole that lines up with a little stud in the gearbox. Now we got this little screw right here that you need a tiny little screwdriver head, and otherwise you'll strip this guy. Go ahead and lock that switch in place. Okay, there's a spring up top here that we don't want to forget about. It goes on this post right here. Let me get a different dental pick. Everybody was in the shop last night using my bench and moving my stuff around. This thing is easy to work with if you have dental picks. You just take this little spring and you put it on this post. I hope you guys can see this. Maybe I'll do a large view and edit if I'm not you know, half asleep when I'm working on it. That allows the switch sled to move forward and back. I inspected the switch. It's got a little bit of scoring on it, little carbon buildup, but that's what happens over time anyway. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the wire that's on the top. There's one wire down low and there's one wired up high. That's the long one. And the long one has to go first because it's going to pass underneath the pinion gear of the motor and essentially up and out the back of the gearbox if this is wired to rear. If it's wired to front, it's just going to go straight out the front. But this is SR10, so no, it won't be like that. Just don't even ask. And then you're going to lay the second one on top of it. This is the motor lead positive, and the motor lead positive is going to have to go on top of it. See how this one is flush with the bottom of the gearbox? I don't know if you can see that, but it lays flush so that the gear doesn't chew it up. I know plenty of you people have seen that before. It's like, man, my gun get shorting out, it's not working. It's because your motor engagement's off and that wire's been sticking up and you just ground off all the shielding. Anyway, we don't have to shim this because apparently KWA just is not needed to shim. So we're going to lubricate all the flat surfaces of the gearbox, both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the silicone on here, and if you're using a syringe, you're ahead of the game because, man, you can easily place this stuff in here. Lube the channels. Oh, man. I know I'm going to get a lot of hell in comments for all the lubrication. Say what you want. Have fun with it. Add it to the comments. Subscribe to this channel. I'd like to hear all of your funny lube jokes. You know, that's what she said. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and lubricate all of these surfaces, the tops of the bearings, where the gears might rub on them. Here we go again. I always like to take the spur gear and just kind of do like a line across it to lubricate it, because when we put it on here, drop it into the corresponding bearing, I really don't like that that's not shimmed, because it sounds like it's just rubbing on stuff, but KWA apparently doesn't use shims anyway. There we go, and it's on there, and the lube will get evenly distributed, and oh man, I'm gonna get hell for this, I know it. Next, I'd like to take the sector gear, go ahead and lube the post. Oh my god, dude, I'm so gonna get spammed big time for all these lube jokes. Anyway, drop it in there, that's its position, and we'll do the bevel gear last because we got to put the anti-reverse latch in. So what we're going to do now is, I'll bring my box of parts over, is we're going to put the cylinder head, cylinder in, piston in, and the tappet plate. And I've inspected this tappet plate. It looks like it's in good condition. It's just a little bit dirty. We cleaned it up a little bit, but let me grab... if you have it, 100 weight RC car shock oil. This stuff is great for lubing and putting cylinders in there. So go ahead and take the cylinder. I like to just take the shock oil and run it all the way around it like that. Let it kind of drip down in there. And then go ahead and take your piston. Go ahead and run it in a couple times. And go ahead and check compression. If you've got good compression on your gun, you should be able to take your finger and put it over the air nozzle, okay? And if you do that, you should not be able to push the piston all the way in. In this case, we have 100% compression, because I cannot get that to move in and out of there. But compression's tested, this thing's good. We've got the air nozzle, which you inspected, it's in good shape. The one thing we want to do on this is I go ahead and put like a bead of lubricant. Man, I'm going to say it. We lube the tip. Oh, man, that's... We lube the tip, I said it, and then we work it back and forth, and wow. Guys, go easy on me on the forums, please. It's bad enough I have to see you on the field. I don't even like looking at you people. And what we do is we take it all in one set, everything's put together, and I go ahead and it's also good to take the spring, just hook it around the tappet plate. There's a little hook right here. And lay that sucker in there. Make sure you work this front cylinder head, the corresponding hole with the stud on the gearbox. Make sure you work it in there so that it's nice and tight. Now, your tappet's in. Go ahead and take that spring and stretch it over this stud right here. This is a hard one to do, even with a dental pick. Get it on there nice, tight, and go ahead and test it. Make sure it moves back freely. It's good. Let's go ahead and stop right there, and maybe we'll move on to the second part of this so that it's not one big giant clip that I have to upload because YouTube, it takes like 9 hours to do it. So at this point, the little subscribe thing is going to pop up, and then you're going to click on it, and you're going to become my friend and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to make all these dumb videos for you, and you know, we're going to have this long-term working relationship where we talk about lubricant and things. And anyway, I'm rambling, and at some point this video is going to stop, and you're going to go on to the next one.